Planet of the Giants is one of the cheesiest and goofiest episodes of Classic Who that I have yet to see, but it also manages to be a ridiculous amount of fun. For some reason, I just thoroughly enjoy these characters playing with these giant props of small things, and as goofy as it can be, it was just so much fun. I found it interesting that the two aliens are the ones that figure out the situation first and explain it to our other two human characters, and I guess I just like that Susan manages to figure it out and explain it to Ian. And as much fun as this episode managed to be, and boy does it manage, it's not perfect. I actually don't think it's a great episode, just one that I have lots of fun with. It does suffer from some cliched and unrealistic characters, well, one in particular who, minor spoilers for the first part, I suppose, if you care. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna say it. He shoots someone, which is very surprising, and I honestly did laugh, but he does so over a pesticide, and he's willing to kill this person over a pesticide, and honestly, I think we spent too much time with the humans. We should have spent more time with our characters, our main characters, and less with the supporting cast. And although they did do a pretty good job of explaining how and why the set pieces were the way that they were, and that was their real purpose, but I do wonder how necessary that even was. In my ideal world, we spend less time with them and shrink this to a 2-part story as opposed to a 3-part story, as I believe that it does slightly overstay its welcome, although only just, and I believe this could have been prevented had things just moved a bit faster. And by the way, I definitely have seen this episode before, but it must have been about 6 or so years ago. It was a while. I don't remember it too well, but I do remember the cat. That's something I definitely remember. I guess I've seen more first Doctor era Who than I actually remembered. I continue to like this Doctor more and more with time. I'm glad that he was wearing a cape in this one. I like the Doctor in a cape. That's nice. Barbara is interesting in this one. She faints twice. The second time, definitely to the pesticide, but the first time was, to the best that I can make of it, to a fly. So that was a bit much for me, but not a huge hindrance on my enjoyment of the episode. And it should be worth noting that it was a giant fly to her because she was tiny, obviously. So, it's not like she fainted to a small fly, but, I hope you got that already. Just a little thing I didn't like. So, although she should have been more upfront about her touching the pesticide, but she wasn't, and I'm still not sure why. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'm not quite sure. Whatever. Susan is still a little too much for me, but better than she used to be. I do believe I like her, and I definitely understand her. I just wish she would calm down some. Ian is fairly likable in this one. I don't remember him doing anything wrong, so that's good. Good on you, Ian. I believe that's honestly all that I have to say about this episode. That was pretty short. Overall, I just had a lot of fun with this episode. Even though it wasn't as good as some of the previous ones, this might have been the most fun that I've had yet. An entertaining bit of cheese with some over-the-top characters and some really entertaining set pieces. It's hardly any complaints here, but there's a couple things that weaken it a bit. This episode earns a rather respectable rating of 7.75 out of 10. I have to say that with time, this one is kind of fading in my memory and becoming less memorable and not something that strikes me as much fun as it was on that viewing that I watched it, because I'm recording this review a bit after I did watch it. So the fun has been fading, but I do remember having a lot of fun when I watched this one. So still a positive review. I enjoyed it. If you don't like this one, by all means tell me why. If you like this one, by all means tell me why. I want to hear what you have to say. And if you join me this coming Sunday, then I will be reviewing the Dalek Invasion of Earth. And I've actually already watched it right after this episode, and I cannot wait to talk about it. But be sure to let me know what you thought about this episode down below, and I hope to see you again next Sunday when I give you my thoughts on the Dalek Invasion of Earth. So thank you for watching, take care, and have a lovely week.